just being able to do so much damage here. And taking a look at the unit, or the army tabs, excuse me, MouzNamma now quite a bit ahead, could push out again. Quite a bit in that mineral. You see the gas going to make an obvious difference here, but he could push out and do quite a bit of damage. But instead it looks like he's going to expand maybe back to his normal second natural here. So MouzNamma coming out a little bit ahead there, taking out that Expo and taking out quite a few of Namma's units. But now MouzNamma needs to be very careful. You see that second Expo now trying to take this gold. That's very, very bold of him to take that right away, but it looks like he's just going to do that anyway and try and stay ahead of his opponent. In the meantime, MouzNamma, this expansion is halfway up, and Namma's second base is now basically back to saturation as soon as he can get some of those units back there. But MouzNamma doing a nice job here, just storming as much as he can, trying to do as much damage, might try and pick off one of those units, but MouzNamma doesn't look like he's going to be able to. That one zealot escaping with his life, and MouzNamma needs to be very, very careful here. It looks like MouzNamma is going to push forward here. Not sure if I agree. Not sure how much damage he can do, and a nuke coming down from MouzNamma is going to push this force back, but looks like MouzNamma might actually be pushing forward. I'm not sure I agree with this. So much damage here that he needs to do so much damage with these storms here. That nuke is very close to landing and doing so much damage to the Protoss force. Take a look at the unit counting station. We do see 16 Marauders and 10 Marines, as well as 4 Ghosts here. MouzNamma might be able to do quite a bit of damage. Look at these army values, quite a bit different in an advantage here for MouzNamma. We see here the foods 129 to 87. MouzNamma might be able to put some pressure on straight in the front door here. Just needs to be careful with those Ghosts. If he can get some nice EMPs off on these clustered High Templars, he will be able to do tons of damage here. But it looks like MouzNamma might be a little bit scared here. So MouzNamma putting on that pressure might be pushing MouzNamma back just a little bit and forcing MouzNamma to be a little bit more cautious. In the meantime, we do see a probe transfer from MouzNamma here, and MouzNamma now knows that this gold expansion is up, and MouzNamma's going to be able to take quite a bit of a lead here. It looks like MouzNamma doing some great storm harass there, taking out some of those SCVs. I'd like to see these Ghosts just a little bit further forward. Looks like they might be able to get a good EMP off there. Great job by MouzNamma. Great map awareness, just trying to do as much damage as possible. And MouzNamma now scouting around here. Doesn't know that this base is here, but he will know it very, very shortly as this SCV does come up here. He's going to see this base coming down here. That photon cannon, excuse me, is going to be able to take him off. And look at this. Look at the unit counting station, or the production station here. We do see 2 Colossi coming out from MouzNamma. I love this tech switch. It's going to be very, very hard for MouzNamma to deal with, although he does have these 2 reactor starports down here in his base. Going to be able to pump out those Vikings very, very quickly. But if he can tech switch efficiently now, MouzNamma will be in quite a bit of danger here. MouzNamma trying to do as much damage as he can, keeping those medevacs on such low energy with all those storms, and a huge storm going down there. Quite a bit of damage to MouzNamma's forces. That's exactly what I was just talking about, that energy staying so low for those medevacs, just because of the fact those storms are going down and taking away so much health here. So taking a look at the unit counting station, we do see MouzNamma doing a good job keeping that macro up. He's still a little bit ahead in the probe count here, and MouzNamma now looks like he might try and pick off this expansion here, and if he can do that, he might be just a little bit ahead here. The food's still quite a bit of a difference here from MouzNamma. Throwing down that defensive nuke, making MouzNamma stay back. Not going to be able to reinforce this very, very well at all. MouzNamma just stemming forward, might be able to take this out very, very quickly. Now MouzNamma doing a good job warping those units in, and a huge storm going down there. Great job by MouzNamma, but MouzNamma looks like he's going to be able to take this out no problem. Another big storm there. Oh no, taking out 2 medevacs. MouzNamma has just been so great with those storms. I think he should attack these probes. Want to lose those as fast as possible. Might even be able to take this out, but a huge attack going down here at the same time. Repairing that planetary fortress, doing such a good job in repelling this back. Looks like MouzNamma did reveal his Colossi tech. Needs to be very careful as 2 medevacs and 2 Vikings are coming out from MouzNamma. MouzNamma doing the correct thing and responding very, very appropriately to seeing those Colossi out on the board. He's going to have to get those Vikings out to try and combat that at all, and he's going to have to be very careful because MouzNamma now with both Expos up and rebuilding this next one, he might be able to produce Vikings, or excuse me, Colossi and High Templars. So take a look back in the base. MouzNamma is completely mined out in his main and almost mined out in his natural. Of course, he does have this gold up, and that is going to make a huge difference. We see here a fully maxed army, basically, and MouzNamma now leading with those Colossi, going to try and do as much damage as possible, and needs to be very careful. Doesn't need to get picked off by those Vikings. Those Vikings will have exceptionally free range. We see only a few stalkers out. If we take a look at the unit count station, only 3 stalkers out for MouzNamma right now, so those Vikings could do tons of damage. We take a look at the unit count station, we see 6 Vikings out for MouzNamma, so he could do quite a bit of damage just running around sniping all those Colossi just as easily as he can here. And another expo now started for MouzNamma. I like this play quite a bit. He needs to be sure he stays up on those expos and try and do as much damage as possible. Here come these Vikings. They might be able to snipe quite a bit here. MouzNamma going to be forced to warp in quite a few stalkers, and it looks like MouzNamma might be pushing forward here. Needs to get some good EMPs off, and MouzNamma just trying to harass the best he can. No, a scan coming down here from MouzNamma, going to do so much damage. It looks like those Colossi are going to be able to clean up quite a bit here. So much damage from those Colossi. Those Vikings need to be able to take those Colossi down as quickly as possible. I would like to see more of that, more of those Colossi coming down. He's got one on so low health, and a nuke going down from MouzNamma, going to force MouzNamma to pull back and retreat here. So MouzNamma actually coming out had quite a bit on that skirmish here. Those 3 Colossi doing so much damage, so many kills, 13 kills for one of them, 9 kills for another, and 5 kills for the other. So MouzNamma now feeling a little scared here, and you see there 4 Vikings coming out from his production tab, and he's going to try and deal with those Colossi the best that he can, as well as that +3 upgrade just about to finish from that engineering base. So MouzNamma in a little bit of a rough spot here. Needs to be very, very careful. You see all those drops coming in. Looks like he's going to try and pick off this this expansion once again. MouzNamma needs to have some very great timing there. There goes a huge storm down, doing quite a bit of damage there. It looks like MouzNamma is going to be forced to retreat here, as MouzNamma has had very, very good reaction time this entire game. Taking a look at the APMs. Wow, still playing at 200. Both players playing very, very fast, and being able to react to one another's prediction or one another plays is very, very important. And yeah, MouzNamma and MouzNamma just doing such a fantastic job. Taking a look at the food differential, still about a 20 food difference here for MouzNamma. Needs to be using that a little bit more effectively. I would like to see him go and be aggressive, maybe at the front door of MouzNamma, but looks like he's also trying to protect his expansion here, which I like that play quite a bit. Having that gold up for such a long time and being able to mine from it is going to put him up quite a bit here, but he really needs to utilize it to its fullest potential here. Quite a few ghosts you see coming down for MouzNamma. Now MouzNamma needs to be very, very careful. Only has about 4 of those Colossi, and these Vikings will be able to do tons of damage here. It looks like as long as MouzNamma does a very good job and tries to do a better job, I would like to see him push forward with this army, maybe get some good EMPs off and win this game. So many cloaked ghosts here from MouzNamma, so he needs to get those EMPs off on the High Templars the best he can, and those ghosts or those Vikings can just handle those Colossi with ease here. So MouzNamma now pushing forward, throwing down another defensive nuke, but a good storm there to do so much damage to these ghosts here. And MouzNamma just going to be able to pick off this expo now. MouzNamma needs to be very, very careful. Looks like he is going to go ahead and back up. Doesn't want that nuke to hit him right away here. And MouzNamma now, so many Vikings in low health, taking out that expo. That's such a nice choice there, and I would like to see MouzNamma though push up and do some more damage to that second expansion. I think he could have done that very, very well. Taking a look at this expansion, it looks like it is getting saturated pretty well, and the harvester count's still an advantage for MouzNamma, so MouzNamma doing such a good job on that on the macro side of this game. And it looks like MouzNamma, interestingly, throwing down 2 command centers here. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind this would be, as he has expanded everywhere that he can expand except for on his opponent's side. So MouzNamma needs to be very careful. Looks like MouzNamma is going to push out here, try and take this expansion, and looks like he will be able to wipe out this small task force here from MouzNamma. So he does have that nexus down right now, and MouzNamma needs to be very, very careful. Taking a look at the food counts now, both players are maxed here at 200, so MouzNamma doing such a nice job. Quite an upgrade. +2 armor, +1 or +2 melee, +1 armor, and +3 weapons and +1 armor here from Mana. So Namma needs to be doing some damage here. Needs to be able to take out some of these units, but Mana now has caught up and is now trying to take his gold, and Namma just really needs to be able to take that out in order to win this game. So it looks like that is exactly what Namma is going to do. He's going to push forward here, try and do as much damage as possible. Looks like he's got a good scan off. Needs to be careful, wants to pull those Vikings back. So many ghosts. He could throw down so many EMPs, but these Colossi are going to be able to kill quite a few of those ghosts. He needs to be very careful. That Observer is out and about, as well as that Photon Cannon is out and about. So Namma now needs to be careful about where he engages and how much damage he does. And look at this, Mana throwing down some storms here. Namma not reacting fast enough. All that damage. This is a great opportunity for Mana. Mana now pushing forward with all those Colossi. Going to be able to do so much damage here. Taking out so many of those Vikings is going to greatly increase the power of those Colossi. Just pushing forward here. Doing so much damage. Those storms coming down from 4 mana. Doing tons of damage to Namma. And Namma now in quite a bit of danger, and there's the GG from MouzNamma. So MouzMaNa and MouzNamma, this game is going into Game 5 here. So what a great play there by MouzMaNa. Wow, can't wait to see Game 5 of this one, guys. Once again, my name is Janitor. If you guys like what I'm doing here, please go ahead and subscribe. And I appreciate your reviews. Please stay around for Game 5. And one quick announcement before I go. I am trying to start a section called Common Casting. If you guys are having problems with a particular matchup, if you're Zerg having problems with Protoss, or Terran having problems with Zerg, or something like that, please send me your replays at sc2janitor@gmail.com. I would love to review them and maybe publicize them as well, you know, give you a little bit of critique. All skill levels are welcome. Of course, I will be able to help any skill level that I can, and yeah, please send me a replay, and I would love to get that back up here, guys. So stay tuned for Game 5.